on stage. Please give a massive welcome to Nefessa Williams, China McClain, and Chris Williams! Jolt, get it in there.
Exactly.
First off, thank you guys for spending your weekend with us here in Florida. It's an absolute gas to have you guys here. We'll talk about, there's so many things to talk about with Black Lightning. And and we'll talk about the implications and how important the show is. But I first want to talk about when you guys were first reading the scripts for your characters. Were you looking at it going, this can't be a superhero show because it's so dense and just really, the writing itself is just fantastic. So I just wanted to go down the road and get your opinions on what you were looking at on the script for the first time when you were reading for the characters.
Well, I was very surprised at how realistic the script was. Like the Pierce family really reminded me of my own family. The issues that Jennifer was going through as a teenager really reminded me of issues that I've gone through and I'm still going through. And I just forgot that it was a superhero show until I saw like people getting lit up, and then I was like, oh yeah, right. So that was my favorite part of reading the script for the first time.
Chris?
Yeah, for me, I was kind of keeping an eye out for it the minute I saw they were writing a script. I'm a big superhero fan. But you don't know when you just hear, Salim and Mar are writing a script about Black Lightning. That's all you get. And so I was like, I don't know if it's going to be good or what, but I just want to get a shot. And then when I read it, and the first scenes where they're in the car and we do the quotes back and forth, I was like, oh, this is awesome. Yeah. And then getting pulled over by the cops, I was just on the edge, I'm reading, going, is he about to light these guys up right now? Like, what's going on? I was hooked to the point where I finished it and I gave it to my wife. I'm like, you have to read this. And she was like, oh, you got to do this. I'm like, yes, I will thank you. So, yeah, it was amazing because it was just a superhero show and more. It's exactly what I wanted to do.
For me, I was like really intrigued because I had never heard about Black Lightning. So I was reading, I was like, who is this superhero that I knew nothing about? And I was reading the female characters and I saw how strong and empowering they were. And I was like, I have to play Thunder. I have to tell her story. And yeah, I was like, what I got to do?
Fox initially was looking at the show and then declined the option for it in February. Were you guys attached to the show at that point, or was it after CW said, yeah, we want this?
No, it was well after, because I was, I think I had just started pilot season, and I went on an audition for something else, Good Girls, it's like on NBC right now, and went well, and then my agent sent me an email that he had sent to Fox, and he put some sexy pictures in there. And said, seriously, I didn't even tell him to do it. He just did it. And I was like, okay. And it was to Fox saying, hey, when you guys start, doing this, can he could be considered? And then they came back and said, oh yeah, he's on the list. And then probably really shortly after that, I heard it left Fox, and then it was immediately at CW. I checked with my agent, said, hey, do you know this movie? He's like, oh yeah, we're on it. And then the audition came after that. So.
Same thing for you guys, or were you even attached later on in the process at that point?
Yeah, I was attached later on, after you for sure.
Oh yeah, because
we were after.
After I got cast, I read with them.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It went really well.
When you're auditioning for an ensemble piece or a piece where there are families involved, they'll put everybody together in a room to see, okay, how well do they interact? So from Jump it when it released?
Yeah, I remember I used to teach, and so part of it was like when I got there, I had to okay, look, this is their audition. I can't say anything. And I remember I saw China, and I have like a 13-year-old, so I was like, I know you. I know you could. I would walk past the screen, but my daughter's watching Ant Farm and stuff, and so I was like, and then it was funny because the other characters, like I remember the other girl reading for Jennifer was cute and had this kind of air about like, oh, I just kind of stumbled into some trouble. And I'll never do it again. Like she had this But she has this air about her. It's like, I'm a good girl, but I'm gonna get into some stuff. And this is gonna happen again and again. Like, and I was like, that's the character.
You guys came up about 5 minutes earlier, so I was, you're talking to your agents and handlers and all the rest of that. But I love the interaction between the two of you comparing photos, and it still felt like a sisterly vibe. So it was just one of those things where I like to see how, because sometimes you can tell actors are like, all right, fine, let's just get this over with and let's do this thing. But that wasn't the case for you guys. So congratulations, you passed the litmus test. Was that chemistry between you something like pretty much from the get-go?
Yeah, it was very instant. It was instant, and I felt it in the room. And I remember we got the call shortly after we left our last audition after reading together. And my agents called, they gave me the good news, I screamed. And I was like, is China Ann McClain playing my sister? Because like I need this to happen. Because I felt it and I knew it would be super easy doing it with her. And we are sisters. That's my baby.
She loves me. I love her so much. No, it really was immediate. Like in the chemistry read, we were like, this couldn't go any other way.
Yeah, no.
I was praying when I left the room. I was like, first, I hope I get it, and second, I hope Nafisa gets it, and we're playing sisters.
Right.
Yeah. I miss her when we're not around each other.
Yeah.
There's a couple of notes that you might not know about Cress. First off, he's got a lot more just than Black Lightning. For example, he was the very first Jem Hadar that you see on screen on Star Trek Deep Space Nine. So, any Trekkies? Any?
Sure.
Okay. It takes training. I took like.
I know it takes, right?
Yeah. There you go. Yep. See.
It took a long time where you're doing this.
I've seen that. Sometimes it's like this. Like, why would you give yourself arthritis?
Right? It just feels more natural. I like throwing them out.
Exactly. Sure. All right. So, and by the way, everybody looks at Black Panther because obviously Disney money, but I'd like to create Black Panther by at least 6 weeks. So congratulations for bringing it straight. Let's talk about representation, because not only have we proven that it matters over and over again over the last couple of years, where studios, whether it's the CW or Disney or Marvel or whoever, have finally said, yeah, okay, black is okay on screen, and it doesn't have to be whitewashed. It doesn't have to. It takes a lot of money, and it gets viewers. So, and you mentioned the car scene, and there's so many people, driving while black is a very real thing in America, and to hit that in the first episode was massively important. I thought that really set the bar for the audiences. When you guys were filming it, did you get that same kind of impression on that it was like, yeah, we've got to have this in there?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. When I read it, I was shocked that we were opening the show like that. And I think after it aired, like Snoop Dogg and somebody tweeted, wow, that's a bold way to open the show. And I think that's definitely true, and it felt so real. Cress was actually out there soaking wet. Like being thrown up against the car. I was inside getting teary-eyed, and like Nafisa was listening to music, like I hate the cops before we got
I was upset. I was listening to,
there's kids out there.
I would get the police on.
That's good.
Forget the police is what I was listening to. And it really fired me up. And that was the scene that we had to do, you and I, in our audition. That was our first scene. I was like, how amazing are Salim and Mara for having this to be the first scene, just setting up the tone of our show. And I knew that we would grab the audience. With that scene.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was very powerful for all of us and emotional for me. Very emotional. I'm sure for all of us, I can say that for all of us, it was a very emotional scene.
Well, it's I love theater. I do grew up doing theater, but the great thing about film is you're out there in the elements that you don't have to pretend the elements are there, and so. And Hollywood rain, like the rain machine.
Was heavy.
Yeah, see, the rain machines don't come in drizzle.
No.
They must be only set for downpour. And it was like, and I'm in a suit, and it was like, oh my God, it was so cold.
Yeah.
It and so it was easy to be. Yeah, I mean, because you're looking at it, it's like they're in the car,
Dry.
The cops have like rain jackets on, so they're all right. I'm in a suit, just getting soaked. Every time he's like, "Get out the car," I'm like, "Man, I don't want to get out the car."
He had to change.
Chris, can we get you back on set? We've got to reshoot that again.
They did that, didn't they?
No, when we did the trailer, and then when we came back to actually start shooting the series, and we knew we were going to be adding some stuff. I was like, "Do we have to do that right?" He's like, "No, we did that." I'm like, "Okay, good." He's like, "You will not have to get out the car." I'm like, "Thank you." But I think for me, I mean, that was powerful. But for me, the scene, after the nightclub, and I'm walking out in the alley, and the cops pull me over and tase me. I mean, that was so much fun. Like, it's make believe, but to see like you do this and these cops go, and like blowing up the car. I remember I told Salim, like, people are gonna be like, "Hell yeah!" We got him, right? He's like, "Yeah."
It's funny you say that because a friend of mine, a critic in Dallas, Ed Bark, he said that was the actual scene where he jumped out of his chair and said,
Wow.
yes. And it takes a lot to move Ed's needle. So, seriously.
Yeah.
Nafessa, have you had any...
It's Nafisa.
I am so sorry.
It's
all
okay.
good. It
It's
happens all the
okay.
time.
It happens.
The internet doesn't give me pronunciation. It's
It's okay.
absolutely horrible. Have you had any interactions with people saying thank you for bringing a believable lesbian character to television?
I have, and I do a little bit. So yeah, and I think that's the most fulfilling and rewarding aspect of all of this. Is I was at Klexicon and I had a young woman who came up to me and said that she feels normal after seeing Thunder, and to me, that just did it. And just hearing the feedback and just hearing how people are appreciative of how normal we as a family allow Anissa to be has been really, really great. Yeah, so rewarding.
And plus, it's a great bullet point just to have on your resume. First black lesbian superhero. Bang!
I'm still having a moment with that, with digesting that.
That's gonna take a while.
It takes a moment. Like people are like, how do you feel? I'm like, I don't know. I don't really know how to feel, but it does feel great when I hear the feedback of the young women and knowing that they are seeing themselves on TV. And for me as an actor, I want to take on roles that are inspiring, obviously empowering women, who are watching and it's about representation who can relate, and see themselves. So, yeah, first black lesbian superhero. Yeah, that's gonna take a minute.
It deserves a lot more than a minute, seriously.
Thank you.
Have you guys started working on season 2 yet?
No, not yet. We start back late June, so we
really
got about a month.
A month or so.
Of freedom.
Summer is almost over. This is summer for us.
Yeah, it is.
Summer is over in the next month, so
Yeah,
y'all better have fun.
Get sleep while you can.
Get sleep while you can.
Yeah.
Is it a full 24 episode run, or are we going?
Oh my God!
I know that was
All those shots were out in the rain, just hit them all at once.
being in that suit for
24.
20. Could you imagine us
Oh
in
my
the
God,
suit for 24
24.
episodes?
No.
Ask Grant Gustin how he feels about his 24
Yeah.
episode run.
Oh yeah. We'll switch suits. His suit is it's a lot easier to get into.
They have a lot of parts. It's hard.
No, the way our show is structured, because it's more serialized, and we don't have like a villain of the week and a kind of a conflict of the week. I don't think we'll ever really do like a full 20, because inevitably we'd have to like try to stretch out a storyline or throw in a bunch of filler episodes. The writers, they would pass out if they had to do that. They don't know how to really do that. So I think all they told us is that we would do a minimum of 13, more than likely a few more. So we're thinking probably 16 to 18.
We really don't know the order yet.
Yeah,
honestly.
we don't know. We
have
just know
no
we go
clue.
back to work next
Emma.
month, and we know that it'll premiere like September, October-ish, same night, same time. That's about it.
We do have a mic here if you guys want to ask questions of the cast, because I'd love. I mean, they don't want to hear me yammer at them, and I just gave Chris a heart attack, so I'm sure they'd like to hand it off. With the amount of effects that are on the show, it looks like there's a lot of practical stuff that's done in camera and on set.
Yeah.
And you were mentioning the suits are wicked uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So with all the lighting effect and everything else in it. So how long does it take you to get in and out of those over the course of the shooting day?
About 25, 30 minutes to get dressed with two people helping helping me.
Yeah. For me, the original suit took about an hour with 2 people helping me. Yeah, the first one. Yeah, it would take that long, and because every little piece had to be like attached. And, they kind of refined it, so now only one person, and it takes about 20 minutes.
Right here.
Okay, so I have to record this because I kind
You look so pretty, flower
I
child.
love those flowers.
Thank you so much. Okay, so first of all, I want to say thank you so much for representing the Black Girl Magic and everything. Every episode, I used to get like really nervous for your mom because I'm like, I swear, if anything happens to her, I'm gonna cry. It's like, oh, Black female mothers like are so strong.
Yeah.
So my question for you is, as a Black actor, what pushes you when like you're getting told no constantly? You're not really getting the opportunity. What keeps you going?
That's what keeps us going,
Yeah,
I think.
yeah, that's the fire. It gives
Yeah.
me the fire for sure when I hear no, because I believe after so many no's, a yes is gonna come, and I just know the vision that God gave me, and that is what keeps me going. So tell me no. I don't really understand no. It's like you gotta be like no. Are you sure we can't figure something out? I'm just an optimist, and you know, I believe with hard work, you know, opportunity, you'll meet it at some point. But yeah, I don't even really understand no, honestly. Ask my friends, I'll be like, no, who, to what? We can figure something out.
I actually agree with that. I mean, it's a lot of times, I'm just going to piggyback off of what you said because I agree with everything she just said. It's hearing no that makes me go harder. I'm like, oh, really? Oh, so you don't think that
don't
Black
think I
people
can
can
do
make
this?
money? You know, you don't think that we can just do it ourselves and be as successful? Oh, okay. Well, then let's show you, you know? So that's what keeps us going, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's just acting is the only thing I'm doing. Like,
Right.
and even when it's like gotten tough or you know times are lean, I've sat in the back going, okay, is there anything else I can do?
No plan B.
Nope.
No plan B.
So, you know, you hear a no, and you just, I'm going to be doing this, and even if I was, matter of fact, when I was a little kid, and I knew I wanted to be an actor when I was a little kid, like probably like his age, and people would say, what do you want to be when you grow up? But I was like, an actor. And before they even said anything else, I was like, I'm prepared to be poor.
Yep.
And so,
Prepare for the rejection that you know you're
because
going to
even
encounter.
at like 7 years old, I knew that it was
Yeah.
a long shot. I knew the odds, and I knew it was going to be tough. But it's like, there's nothing else for me to do. 'Cause
Yeah.
I want to enjoy what I do. So,
When you dive in with no fear, there's nothing to lose.
yeah.
Yep.
Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Great first question. Yes, sir.
First, I'm a big fan of all the CW superhero shows, but yours has become my favorite.
Thank you.
Woo.
Thank you.
As far as cons are concerned, I'm not sure if this is your first or not, but how are you enjoying your experience here?
Well, this is my first Megacon, and I gotta say, and it's earned its name for real.
For
Like
sure.
it's my, I'm gonna say it's my favorite one. Hopefully nobody's taping. I see people taping, so it's but I really love it, and you guys really make my day. So being able to meet you guys.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we've been to a couple by now. This being the biggest and the best so far.
Megacon. Yeah, it just sounds. I just gotta say it, right? You see Megacon has got the big robot thing.
Right, right.
Megacon. All right, go ahead.
What was I gonna say?
You said we done a few. This
Oh
one.
yes, we've done a few, but I think it's really cool to have the one-on-one experience with our supporters and to hear the response and hear what you guys like, what you want to see more of, and really just to come say hi and you know to meet you guys. So I'm digging the cons. I am.
Yeah, I mean, every day. I mean, you know, for I just acted a fool, so you probably don't think I'm an introvert. So for an introvert, it's extremely exhausting to do these. But every day, I have multiple stories, just people that touch me. That I go home, I go back to the hotel, and I call my wife. I'm like, oh my God, you can't believe this.
Yeah.
I met this person, and this happened. And you know, we're off in a little like warehouse doing this for months on end, and you know, it feels like we're so isolated, and tweets and things like that only do so much. But then to like meet people face to face and see the stories, you know, people coming and getting emotional, like
Yeah.
it's like our curtain call, you know, and so it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
You bring up the multitude of CW shows, and of course there's always the will they or won't they cross over and all the rest of that.
I'll let you answer. We'll let you answer that.
Well, my question is this. I feel, and this is just me, I feel like it doesn't need the baggage of Central City and Emerald City and all the rest of those. I think that the show does fine on its own, and there's a lot of places for this to grow. Like, for example, somebody has an Amazon girlfriend that we haven't even touched on yet. So, you know, there's so many different ways that I read the comics, guys. So, yeah, exactly. So, I mean, do you guys feel the same? Because I know that Salim and Mara have said probably not, mostly not, leaving the door open. You name check a couple of them anyway, just to kind of stoke that fire.
Well, I think the more that they've people brought it up, I think it's, you know, Salim has kind of gone from like, well, probably not, mostly not, to like, no, stop asking. But I think part of it is just, you know, I would say never, but you know, we're at the like infancy of our show. Like, we've just finished season 1, and you know, we're going into season 2, and we've got a lot of stories to tell. And a lot of like development of characters of our family to tell, and she hasn't even started to be out in the cold winter night with us yet.
Looking forward to
in her
that.
suit, yes. Gotta go to strike.
Wait for you to join us.
You gotta come out and sweat in the Atlanta sun.
That's true, because they're always like filming in the cold,
You
and I'm
gotta
like
come
in the
out
house
in the
sleep.
woods.
Negotiate your contract.
But seriously, we have so many facets of our show that we haven't even tapped into yet, and you know, from the comic book history, characters that we could bring in, you know, that it's like, let us get going. Let us jump the shark at least once first, and then we can talk about crossovers.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
First of all, I have to tell you, I'm so excited. I had to text my mom and say, I'm in front of Steve.
No.
Oh my God, take a picture, so I did.
Okay. Okay. Good.
You actually just touched on a part of my question. So, first of all, you guys are showing a different dynamic than a lot of superhero shows.
Yeah.
Because this is a family.
Yeah.
But with respect to the comic and having to stay true to the source material,
Yeah.
where do you want to see the family and the individual characters go? I mean, because you have such a story to tell, but it's serialized,
Yeah.
so you have a little bit more room than a movie.
Yeah.
Where would you like to see this go? Are there storylines from the comics that you definitely want to make sure you guys get to, or characters that you definitely want to make sure get, you know, included over your time?
Yeah. Yeah. You know.
I want to see the family really be together again. Like, you know, Lynn and Jefferson are kind of split up, kind of together, but I really want to see them together as a family, you know? And I love that part of it because it is real.
It is.
And that was introduced in the first episode, and I was like, okay, this shows this family and these two people that really love each other, but things are complicated.
Yeah.
So I want to see them together, and I also want to see Anissa fight with the Outsiders at some point.
That'd be. Yeah, I think for me, the story of the Outsiders and the storyline with Grease in the comic book, I would like to definitely see all of that unfold. And for the fans, I know the fans have been, you know, that's like the number one question I've been getting is Grease coming back?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I like to see more of the romantic side of Anissa and her love life, and for sure her getting down with Outsiders.
Yeah. Yeah.
So there's so much to say. There's so much for us to touch
Oh,
on.
my God,
There's so
yeah.
many of the characters in the comic book.
Yeah.
We haven't even really touched into her powers yet, and all that she's about to become.
Oh, my
so
God.
I don't know. I got stressed out.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm excited about, because, you know, at the root of it, like, she's actually, like, power-wise, like probably the most powerful one of them.
Oh, stop.
No, I mean, I'm in the comic book, man, that's all. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about and also, like, with that power, not being able to control it, like, there's some really fun things that can happen there. And I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the Outsiders, like the heroes that we could bring in to fight with us. And then with that, when you bring more heroes in, then the villains got to get even stronger.
Yeah,
so we raised that bar of, like, meta villains.
Yeah.
You know, it would be cool if we, you know, I don't know if they would do like literally Batman, because, you know, like Black Lightning and Batman have ties together, and that's kind of because Batman creates the Outsiders and all of that. So it would be cool. I don't know if they would do, like, say, this is Batman, or if they'd make, you know, a dark cloaked figure. You know, I don't know. That would be cool. You know, exactly.
Oh, real quick, there was also a part in the comic books where Black Lightning fought Superman, and I want to see that.
Yes, that would be dope.
Yeah.
He did live, like I, you know,
You
like I
live.
said, I do live. Can wear that as a badge of honor.
Do you know any characters named Martha? I think that might.
Yes, I know.
Right here.
I love you guys.
We love you too.
When you show to my Netflix, I binge watch it like no tomorrow.
Thank you.
I love you, Chris, but my question is for
Feast.
Nafisa and China.
Thank God I wasn't the only one.
I told you that this video
See out there.
I know in different scenes, you guys' hairstyles are different. And by the way, your hair is on point, by the way.
Thank you.
You guys get your hair done between scenes.
You said how?
How long?
How long?
Get your hair done?
Well, that takes some serious planning sometimes. We kind of plan it around what we know that our next scenes are going to be, and whatever time we need allotted for that. Our producers and the hair team do a really good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, because we change our hair up a lot.
Yeah, but I love that because it represents black women.
Black
Like, you
girls.
change your hair and
We
don't
change-
nobody recognize you.
Yeah. I know we changed our hair a lot, and we just wanted to keep true, and the creators wanted to keep true to who we are as black women, and little girls having cornrows in the hood, and that's just what life is, and we just really wanted to make it parallel and stay true.
I was mad one time though because I sat for 7 hours getting box braids, and then right after they were like, "Well, we have to do
had
reshoots
to
on
do
the
a
episode beforehand," so I had to get them all taken down right after one episode.
Yeah.
So that wasn't good. So maybe we need to rethink that next season.
Yeah, no box braids. Yeah, we're not letting you get no box braids this season.
Nope.
Well, no longer sacrifice y'all do for the show.
Yes, yes.
They're like, you ready to sing?
I know.
You don't get a lot of black lesbians who watch TV shows. I feel like lesbians too.
Cover the kids.
That's right.
No, I understand, and I'm hoping for that too, because I loved how we started to touch on it, but Anissa was so into finding out who she was and discovering her powers that we didn't really get to.
Got sidetracked.
Yeah, we got sidetracked. She got sidetracked, and she
Yeah.
just really was focused on just finding out who she was and how her powers work. So I'm with you. I agree with you. And from what I hear, a little birdie told me that yeah, we are going to be seeing more of that.
That's good.
Thank you, you rock.
Hi.
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 So what was like your favorite memory on set of Black Lightning?
Well, I love shooting the finale because the whole cast was together and we didn't get a lot of opportunities to shoot all of us together. We were split up a lot shooting.
Yeah.
So that was fun. And also there was a time where it was like, 4 a.m.? It was like 4 o'clock in the morning, and Nafisa and I had been filming all day and all night. And we were just laying in my set bed, in Jennifer's
we were
bed,
silly that
knocked
night.
out. Yeah, we were really
We
silly.
tired ourselves out. It was like Christmas. We was about to break for Christmas.
Yeah, we were.
And we were just so silly, and I don't know. China and I, we kind of cut up together on set a lot. But that was one night we were really cutting up. I think we tired ourselves out.
Yeah, that was one of my favorites for sure because I love spending time with her.
Yeah, I think for me, guys, I think shooting the pilot because there was so much excitement, and we were just really just happy, that we were on this great show and we were putting our all into it and hoping to get picked up. And I think for me, those first memories on set together, bonding and creating, I would have to say it was the car scene.
In the rain?
In the rain.
No,
The
but
rain.
yeah.
I would have to say the pilot when we first started shooting. For me, there were some really cool moments and memories.
Man, it's a lot. Like,
Yeah, it is. It's kind of tough.
no, because it's so many, right?
There's so many.
Like literally every single, every single episode. Keep bringing it closer. Well, can you hear me?
You seem like an introvert.
I know.
Yeah, well, it's gonna go away real quick. It's just kind of a tank that then it will be empty a lot sooner than ever. Yeah, man, it's hard. It's because like there's so many fun memories. I mean, I think about like the scene both in the kitchen and in the dining room.
Oh, yeah.
When she comes down, and it was me, you, and Christine, and she came down. I was like, I'm ready to have sex. And we,
Yeah,
that was so much
That was
fun.
in the show, by the way. That wasn't in real life. I just wanted to make that clear. Yeah.
Your dad would be
That
up
wasn't
there. But then the scene in the dining room, because like I remember we were sitting in our chairs, and I think it was Christine who said, "Hey, let's run lines."
Yeah.
And we just started running, and through like sitting in the chairs running lines, we kind of discovered like all these funny things in the midst of the silence. And then so when we got to the dining room to start shooting it, like that whole like drink because I don't know what to say, like all of that was so much fun. And there's very few moments of humor in our show. So.
I came to set to see that, and all I remember was Christine. I had to see that. When I read that, I was like, yo, we're really going there.
Yeah, that was, yeah. I had heard about it. It was infamous. It was like, people were like, I'm like,
Yeah.
what's the next episode? They're like, well, people were like, well,
Jennifer.
Jennifer decides she's going to have sex. And I was like, what? What happens? And I had like a 13-year-old daughter, like take it all personal. I was like, what happens?
Knuckles cracking.
Oh, I didn't want to know. Yeah. And then, I mean, I gotta admit, like, I know I read it, like, oh, that's sad that Khalil got shot. But you did have sex with my daughter,
Because there's such a great ensemble of supporting characters on set that you don't get to see episode to episode or week to week for you guys.
Yeah.
Is there one person when you're looking at the call sheet, okay, I get to work with this person today? Is there one for each of you that like, I can't wait to get to act against this person again today?
Will.
I've never had any scenes.
You didn't have any?
I haven't had any scenes with Will. Who
Yeah.
plays Lala?
Lala. He was my first scene. Well, not for
Oh,
the
yeah.
pilot, but
But when
like
we came back.
when we came back, the first scene, the first day I shot was the scene with Will going to the community center, and him and the
yeah.
little boy comes over,
Yeah.
and we just we were working on it, and I hadn't even met him yet. Met him, and we started working, and the very, very end of the scene, he just kind of improvised. Like, I mean, we were just like toe to toe, and he improvised. Like he just started to touch my suit, and he's like, yeah, and I was like.
Fired up.
He's like, wait, you don't want me to do it? I'm like, no, go ahead, do that. And I was like, it's working. Like, I'm gonna kill you right now. And I just knew, like, cause he was like, yeah, that's a nice suit. I was like, it's about to go down. And it was cool. I was like, oh, this is fun. And when we finished that scene, that was the first time, like, we are gonna be all right. This is gonna be really cool.
I think for me, it's when we all shoot as a family because we don't always get to do that together. It's either me and Cress or me and China or me and Christine. She's worried about if I'm gonna die. But when we're all together, that's always fun and cool because we don't get to do it. So like China said, the season finale and even episode 11, 12, when we all were able to, we spent a lot of time together and filmed together a lot. So that's always cool.
Yeah.
I have a question for China.
Hi. You're so cute.
In the sentence two, what was your favorite thing about filming?
My favorite thing about filming was probably learning how to sword fight. That was my favorite. Okay, so if there's a sword ever around, don't make me mad. Okay, that was my favorite. And we're shooting D3 right now, so there's a little bit more of that, maybe. Thanks, boo boo.
I think there's another question for you.
Yeah, that's a China question.
Because she's probably too young to be watching our show.
Sorry.
Hi.
Who's your favorite character other than
On Black Lightning? Oh, who's my favorite character other than mine? Can I say everybody sitting on this panel? Oh, I'm gonna leave you with that.
You have a career in politics.
That was very diplomatic.
Very politically correct, Chai.
Hey guys,
Hi.
I'm so happy to be here. I first wanted to say I was at the DC and DC fan screening of the pilot, and those two scenes, the Dragon Ball Black and the one outside the club, like everyone was freaking out. So huge response to that, and just wanted to share that with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
throughout the Flash, but I actually did write a Jennifer Jeff fanfiction after Before Black Lives, because you're seeing with Christine, where you're saying that like you want to have a normal life, you don't want these powers. Like I was almost sobbing.
Thank you.
So good.
That was so emotional.
So in the finale, we saw Jennifer slowly start to accept the power, like use badass showcase, especially against Proctor with the lightning lasso. It was great.
Thank you.
What can we expect to see in season 2 in regards to? Because I know you guys have talked about like how Jennifer is definitely potentially going to suit up next season and all that, but like in regards to the family dynamic of Jennifer and her powers, what can we expect?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think Jennifer's kind of gotten over the whole, my parents have lied to me my entire life, like, you know, everything I know is a lie. I think she's gotten over that at this point. And we haven't read any scripts yet for season 2, so I'm not exactly sure. But I think that she's gonna kind of jump over the whole, I don't want powers, I just want to be normal. I think that at the end of the season, you kind of saw, she was like, I kind of like this is kind of cool, you know? So hopefully she'll step even further into that. And I think Salim has already said that I'm going to get a suit next season, so I think I can tell you that I read that somewhere, so I'm going to go ahead and
One of them that, I mean, I signed on to do this because I was like drawn to play a superhero. And so I always say that I wanted to do this because I wanted to play Black Lightning. But then as we started doing it, I'm always most excited to be Jefferson. And so like when we get to have scenes together, when it's family, you know, like Black Lightning is fun. Like Black Lightning has, and we kind of, you know, Salim and I have carved out, they're almost like 3 different characters that go on. I knew there were 2, and then he illuminated a 3rd, but it's like, you know, there's Jefferson, and he's the mentor, the father, and that's the most close to my heart, so that's what I love the most. And then Black Lightning he's having fun, like he, you know, because there's a 3rd one that we call That Dude. I can't. Well, I can't say what we really call him in front of people. So I'll just say he's that dude. And there was a number of scenes, like the scene in the school when Dabier, when he came to school and is messing with y'all, and he pulls out the gun.
Yeah.
And then the scene when I had to go to Lala and the motorcycle and all that, where it was like, okay, we need to see that dude. And I was like, wait, what's that? Who's that dude? And he's like, that dude is the guy who grew up in Freeland, and like he's from here. And I'm like, how is he different from Black Lightning? He's like, well, Black Lightning is having fun. And I'm like, that's right, he is. He's like, he's almost got his own soundtrack going through his head. He's always having a good time, you know. But that dude is not having fun. That dude is like, look, you're messing with my family. It's about to go down.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, now I understand. But I think I love playing Jefferson the most, and one of the hardest scenes, it was hard but good at the same time, was in the finale, the kind of fantasy moment where I come down and see my father and have this conversation, because my father passed away about 13 years ago, and he got a chance to see me act, but this is a whole other level. And as a Black man, I mean, when we were in DC,
that was emotional.
And yeah, I mean, every step of the way of this show, I would love to have him around to see this. So when I saw that scene, it was like life imitating art and saying the things that I would love to say to him. And so I was scared and excited at the same time to even do that scene. So. Hey, what's up, Monty?
Hey, Monty.
His name is Monty.
Good to see you again.
What's up, Monty?
Yes, like So, during Black Lightning, there's a lot of hand-to-hand combat in the show.
Yeah.
So, are we going to see a lot more Jennifer going a little more hand-to-hand possibly? Or if so, how long did you guys do any type of, when it comes to hand-to-hand combat, how long do you guys kind of practice for and training yourself?
Oh, yeah.
You go ahead. Take it.
I think, yeah, I mean, I think that hand-to-hand is kind of the theme of the show. And so, I mean, I think you're probably doing some hand-to-hand, but I think also that she's like, I think she'll be doing some hand-to-hand, but probably a lot of just lighting fools up. That was just because her power, like, she's a battery. No, I'm a battery. You're like a generator. But it's, for all of us, it's a train, because it's not like a film where you get a script and you can say you have 3 fight scenes and that's it, and you're gonna like spend months rehearsing each fight scene and training for it. It's like, it's a train that starts moving, and there's a fight scene every single episode. So you're doing one, and as soon as you breathe, it's like, okay, tomorrow you got fight rehearsal for the next one. And sometimes you get like a couple of days, sometimes you get like a day. I mean, it's because the train just doesn't stop moving. So we just have to, requires a lot of time, like, on our own, running the fights in our head and trying to get time together to rehearse and stuff.
I did get a little taste of the hand-to-hand combat though, because I don't know if you guys saw the episode where Jennifer beat up those 2 girls in the skating rink. Yeah. So I like to do more of that.
Yeah. I mean, I think that the without, which is great, without like showing it or stating it, I think the idea is that, Jefferson is a hand-to-hand combat guy, and so he taught his daughters how to protect themselves.
That's
So
one of my favorite scenes.
what's the greatest thing is that we don't have to go through this like explanation of that. It just is understood, and through scenes like that, like how she just takes up 2 girls, it's just like, oh yeah, they know how to take care of themselves. So.
And also, Chris,
No, please go ahead.
my mom I sent a picture of my mom to you, and she told me to say,
Hey, Scoop.
Tell I said hello.
It is an absolute gas having you guys here. Thank you for spending your time with us. If you guys have not already had I'm sorry we ran out of time because we're all having fun. I really apologize.
Oh, we should.
Yeah, I know. All right, rapid fire. Let's get through as many as possible. Let's go. Go, go, go.
Okay.
Okay, real quick, I was gonna go more in depth on this, but all the social justice stuff you guys talked about, hands up, don't shoot, all that kind of stuff, the Tuskegee experiment, which I talked with you about. Yeah. I love that. How did that feel for all of you to explore that and to be, risky enough to go into that kind of topic?
It was an honor. I felt so bold being a part of something like that, and it feels really good to tell the truth. Do it unapologetically.
Go.
Hi.
Dad, you got to translate.
You're her favorite. You're her favorite.
My favorite character. I'm gonna go back to the panel, and I love everybody on the panel. Oh, I'm a favorite. Oh, okay, God. Okay. Thank you so much. I was like, I barely got out this question the first time. Thank you, my love.
Do you like the costumes?
I like the costumes. I love the costumes. And I'm really glad that we all get a say in what we wear, because we get out there and we feel really confident. We're like, oh, okay, yeah, I feel good in this, So, yeah, I really like the costumes a lot.
Thank you for your question.
Thank you, sweetie.
So cute. And y'all t-shirts are bomb, too.
Yeah, we appreciate those.
I just want to say this real quick. As a father, especially as a black father of 2 daughters, to see this experience on TV is amazing. And I just want to tell you guys I love you. And from the show's theme, let's get lit.
Hey. You want me to go down the list of spoilers? Okay.
And we're out of time.
No, I absolutely love working on Black Lightning. There's nothing like it. I've never worked on a project quite like this. It feels very real when we're in the scenes. And it's definitely one of my favorites. So, yeah, I absolutely love it. Thank you. And thank you for your support, babe.
And you got the final question. Make it a good one.
I say I love all three of you.
Oh,
Also,
love you
Payne,
too.
Dance from China, and Press, you're amazing. Going with my friends, Chris Mason, home at Jefferson. He's like, cool. So I saw you in Truth to the Game.
Oh.
Sadly, you died, but now you just. And you
Yep,
became
bring myself back to life, right?
I love the songs, the Black Girl Magic, she's the one
Oh, thank
Black
you.
Lightning theme. I'm happy to meet you guys, and thank you for everything.
Thank
Love
you.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Love you.
Do not sleep on the photo op that they've got coming on later up today. Go see them at their table. Once again, I want to see the Pierce family on my TV for years and years to come. Thank you guys for your
Thank you.
generosity. Nafisa, China, and Press, ladies and gentlemen! Yes, sir.
See you next year. See you next year.
Absolutely.